The coronavirus. This is their new hoax. We have it totally under control. It's one person coming in from China. One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear. When you have 15 people, and within a couple of days it's going to be down to close to zero, we really think we've done a great job in keeping it down to a minimum. I like this stuff. I really get it. People are surprised that I understand it. No, I don't take responsibility at all.
While our families worry, while our healthcare workers fight, while our economy falters, at a time when healthcare couldn't be more important, President Trump is in court trying to overturn Obamacare, jeopardizing the health and security of millions. Ask yourself, if he gets his way, could your family afford it? Tell President Trump and the Republicans, drop the lawsuit. Save lives.
Has the president, as of now, Sunday morning, ordered to make more of any of these critical supplies?
No. It's unclear what he's waiting for, as we're hearing reports of shortages of very basic medical supplies.
How can it be that nurses in Washington state are trying to create protective equipment out of office supplies?
We are pleading on social media, get me PPE.
Federal government's not supposed to be out there buying vast amounts of items and then shipping. You know, we're not a shipping clerk.
Messages are entirely clear from everyone in the medical and public health community with whom I've spoken to in the last few days. There are about to be critical shortages.
What is the truth on the front lines?
The truth is we cannot get the masks and other protective gear that we need.
They'll use a mask for a short period of time.
We're using the same mask for an entire ship.
They throw it.
And storing it in a paper bag.
Ventilators are very rate limiting. There's not enough. There won't be enough.
We've also gotten tremendous reviews from a lot of people that can't believe how fast it's coming. How is it possible to use something?
Before the Affordable Care Act, insurance companies did not always cover patients with pre-existing conditions. Now they must.
More than 20 million people gained coverage, putting our uninsured rate at a historic low.
The Obamacare Medicaid expansion has been a growth driver the last 10 years.
Patients thank me. They were able to get care that otherwise they wouldn't have been able to get, and it helped save their lives. So certainly the Affordable Care Act has made a huge difference.
Our legislative work starts with repealing and replacing Obamacare.
Now that his administration is once again actively trying to take away health care protections for people with pre-existing conditions and take away health insurance from 20 million people.
After the Justice Department threw its weight behind a lawsuit that would invalidate Obamacare.
On the race to respond, if the coronavirus outbreak becomes very severe, about 38 million Americans will need medical care, and nearly 10 million will need to stay.
Tremendous relationship with President Xi. I wish they could have told us earlier. We didn't know about it until it started coming out publicly, but I wish they could have told us earlier because we could have come up with a solution. President Xi's working very, very hard. I spoke to him. They read about it in newspapers like everybody else. I spoke with President Xi. We had a great talk. He's working very hard, I have to say. He's working very, very hard. China was very secretive, okay? Very, very secretive. President Xi, if you know anything about him, I think he'll be in pretty good shape. I wish they would have told us earlier, Steve. President Xi. I spoke to him. He's working very hard. They're working very hard. Very, very hard.
Fauci said earlier this week that the lag in testing was, in fact, a failing.
It is a failing. I mean, let's admit it.
Do you take responsibility for that?
There's so much anxiety out there.
There are at least 2,885 confirmed cases in 49 states, plus the District of Columbia. At least 60 people dead here in the United States.
It's hard for the American people to know who they can turn to for information.
We need leadership right now. We simply don't have the test.
I still have to make my case, plead to test people. They're testing 10,000 a day in some countries, and we can't get this off the ground.
Do you take responsibility for that?
Yeah, no, I don't take responsibility at all. I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say.
What do you say to the American people who are confronting this new reality?
This is bigger than any one of us. This is calls for a national rallying to everybody move together.
I think it's a very nasty question, and I think it's a very bad signal that you're putting out to the American people. The American people are looking for answers, and they're looking for hope. And you're doing sensationalism.
You know, I laid out in detail what I would do if were I president today. You can go to joebiden.com.
And the same with NBC and Comcast. I don't call it Comcast, I call it Concast.
First of all, I have to take care of those who in fact are exposed or likely to be exposed to the virus. And that means we have to do testing.
That's really bad reporting. And you ought to get back to reporting instead of sensationalism.
Secondly, I would make sure that every state in the union had at least 10 places where they had drive-through testing arrangements.
Let's see if it works. It might and it might not.
This is an all hands on deck. This is, as someone said, maybe it was you, Jake, at the outset, this is bigger than any individual. This is bigger than yourself. This is about America. This is about the world. This is about how we bring people together and make the kind of sacrifices we need to make to get this done.
I happen to feel good about it, but who knows? I've been right a lot.